So the file shape embargo dropped as of yesterday, which means content creators that hold file shape recorded footage are allowed to post that up and show us peasants who didn't get a chance to fly to Bungie, right, a sneak peek at stuff. So I'm just a consumer as much as you. That's just a reminder because I didn't have any file shape pre-recorded footage. But listen, having watched what we watched yesterday, I want to focus on 2 points in this video. Right? First of all, the legendary file shape campaign and Prismatic. And just some thoughts on the two topics and me being worried about these two topics as well in some fashion. So topic number one, the legendary file shape campaign has been reported to feel too easy. Haven't play tested it. Some content creators have. If that's the case and it's too easy now, then it will be too easy next week as well. I actually believe what people have been saying about that. The content creators, so SkillUp said it was too easy. Datto said it was too easy. Now, SkillUp is no pro at D2. He told you that, which he isn't a pro at Destiny 2. He doesn't eat, breathe, sleep, nightmare like me for D2. He doesn't dream about D2 like I do. But he has enough game smarts to get by in Destiny 2. So he's a half decent player. I think SkillUp's decent. I like his videos. I actually quite like him. As opposed to Paul Tassi, I can't stand that lad. But SkillUp, he's very likable. So I believe him when he said the campaign felt too easy. The legendary campaign felt too easy. Now he's as I said, he's not a pro. So imagine what the campaign's going to feel like to pro players. I'm on about top 10% players or even top 20. It's going to be easy, man. Really easy. If SkillUp says it's easy, chances are you watching are probably better than SkillUp because you play more than him. SkillUp's got a full-time job. He has to review other games. He can't just stay on Destiny 2 all the time. Whereas people who are fans of Destiny 2 just only play this. That's all you digest. So you'll be really, really good at Destiny 2. You'll be surprised how good you are if you're somebody that entirely only plays Destiny 2. So the legendary campaign is going to be a walk in the park for you. Now, they've said, Datto said this as well, the reason why it felt so easy is because of Prismatic. Because you can spam abilities back to back to back to back. Now, you lot asked for this. I never asked for this. I wanted gun skill to take prevalence. I didn't want abilities to take prevalence because I know the long-term side effects of it. And the long-term negative effects of having a ability-based build is that there's no going back. Once you cross that line, there's not much error, like there's not much leeway to go back and go back on yourself. Like imagine if they release Prismatic and they're like, oh, it's too powerful, and then they go back to 2017 double primary. Imagine what people would do. They would be raging. They would never do that, but just imagine that. But that's what I'm saying. Once they cross that line, you're always expecting more. How can you get more than what Prismatic is? How can you outdo that? You can't outdo it. So they're putting themselves in a corner with Prismatic. I honestly think they should have just made the red subclass. Just make a damn new subclass. Make them Prismatic might have been the wrong choice. Now, there's two ways here. Number one, if they've made Prismatic and File Shape the way it is as a love letter to Destiny 2, all right, and that you play the free seasons, the free episodes, then we get D3, then this makes sense. Everything makes sense. Then I'm okay with it because I'm like, okay, this is the culmination of everything the last 10 years, and then you're getting abilities. You want to feel powerful for that reason. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense is if they keep the D2 model with Prismatic. Because then what? Then what after that? Where can they go with that? Because then it wouldn't make sense to make a new Darkness subclass. People have said that because there's only two, whereas the free light subclass, it wouldn't make sense because Prismatic would still be better than that new Darkness subclass. Probably. Unless they intentionally try to beat it, right? Which they always can because they're in control of the sandbox. But it just doesn't make sense if they're going to keep the D2 model going. Which they've said they are going to keep that model going. But, like, it's make or break this. Like, you know, I just think they would have been better just making a new subclass. The red subclass that there was, a poison subclass, I think that would have been safer and better, and sort of focus as well heavily on weapon gunplay. I think that would have been sufficient with a very good legendary campaign that's difficult, and that they've apparently, it sounds as though they failed on that. Now we haven't played it. Us peasants haven't played it yet, so we can't say yes or no. But I would like to uphold the content creators that have said it's not easy and say they're probably right. Why would they lie? And by the way, a lot of people that flew out to Bungie, they're not good players. I don't know any of those players that are good. I'm sorry, Cross, you're a good lad, but you're not a good player. Like, he's not an amazing player. He's a good player at PvP. He's alright at PvE. He's good at analysis. But listen, Snazzy Rock. And I think he knows that he's no Snazzy Rock. He's no Esoteric. He's no Vendetta. He's no Salted Grapo. He's not one of those players. So we can't. Imagine your top players getting a chance to fly to Bungie Studios, what they would have done to that campaign. They would have dismantled it. Snazzy Rock the Caretaker King would have dismantled that damn campaign, and that would have been it. So that's what I'm saying. If average players are saying it's easy, then what about the rest of us? And if it's easy to average, then for casuals, they'll be able to get through it. They'll be fine. They'll be able to get through it. They might not get it done first go or even day one, but they'll get it done in the first week. So it's a big concern. And again, it's because of Prismatic. So Prismatic, to me, right, there's a modifier that we can actually compare Prismatic to that did exist in D2. It doesn't exist now, but it used to. He's history lesson, a bit of education, because I feel as though people don't listen to my education stories enough or my history lessons. History lesson, 2017, Destiny 2 comes out. Nightfalls get new unique modifiers. One of them is called Torrential Light, or Torrent, should I say. This modifier allows all your abilities to be on a super recharge basis, which I have some gameplay of that at the end. And basically you can spam abilities back to back to back, which means that you barely use your guns. Now this is fun on the short term basis. Okay? I remember it exclusively. It's fun on the short term basis to spam your abilities like a madman. But the long term side effect of this is that you get bored. And that's what's going to happen if the plan is to be a ability based game, not a shooter anymore. Because what's kept us coming back all these years is not the abilities. I'm sorry. The abilities haven't kept you coming back. The gunplay and the movement has kept you coming back. The abilities are to supplement that, which they do and have done very well over the years. But they're going too far and beyond. And I've got some analysis of that coming up, of me thinking they're going too far and beyond. And like I say, you're getting content creators saying the Legend campaign's too easy because of Prismatic. And whenever they make a campaign based around a subclass, they mess it up as well. Lightfall was that. It was based around Strand. It was super annoying having to use Strand in the entire thing just about. Right, and then having to destroy certain obstacles to get past with Strand. It just didn't like it. It disrupted the flow. Witch Queen didn't have anything to disrupt the flow of the campaign. So it just sort of it flowed smoothly. Yeah? So that's the thing to worry about, is, because it's going to be heavily involved in the story, I bet, with the Prismatic, or you earn this fragment, you earn that fragment, and the focus is off the story and then on you. Whereas it shouldn't be. The focus really should be on the game, the story, and the missions being really well designed. And that's what the focus should be. But I feel as though it sounds, I'm sorry, but I'm starting to get a little Lightfall vibes off Final Shape. I don't think it's going to be a disaster. I don't. But I don't think it's going to be as good as I want either. And that's what I'm really worried about, because this is a good exit point for people. You've got to understand, it's a good exit point. And I'm a content creator. I need players. I need people to play. We are oversaturated with content creators. We may as well be a 1-to-1 ratio versus viewer and content creators. So imagine that, for every one viewer, there's a content creator. we're getting to that stage. There's so many people making videos on D2, and it's like annoying because like, where have you been when Destiny 2 was bad? I've been here when it's bad, good, medium, average, everything. But then you get these dumb players that come back who quit. Yeah, and if you did, I'll tell you that, right? These players that have quit and come back and they expect to, get views and stuff. Like Bacon Gangster, get out of here. What's he come back for? Why is he back? He needs to get shot. We need to get shot of him. Janeda Jake's the true PvP man, not damn Bacon Gangster. Okay? Janeda Jake deserves everything, all the medals, because he's like literally the best PvP player, I think, in the game. Hands down, just because of what he does. That's just my personal take. But yeah, it's just like there's too many people making content on D2, and it's less advantageous to do it. And if people get bored, which I'm suspecting that they're going to by winter time, then what are we going to do for Destiny 2? That's what I'm saying. I hope that this is all just a love letter for D3 to come out. So this is just giving you supreme power to say, right, you're getting all this, and then we're going to get D3 eventually. That will make sense if that's the case. So footage coming up is going to be analysing the prismatic gameplay. It's not my own footage, but I've got some unique information or a unique take on it. But if you haven't saw the prismatic gameplay, here's it coming up with no dialogue at all.
Oh, 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 oh. Here we go. That worked really, really well.
Oh, alright. We got some,
Free clips of Warlock Titan Hunter Prismatic gameplay, and I want to go through some unique facts about it. So, for the Warlock gameplay, in total, he used in this gameplay 9 abilities, right? And he shot his hand cannon 9 times and shot Forerunner 6 times. That is a total of 15 shots to 9 abilities. This is almost 1-to-1 ratio. Now, sure, the guy could have shot way more than this, and it is a very short clip, but look at this, the amount of times they're getting abilities. And they could have done more abilities. If you look at the reach, look, he's got his grenade back, he's got his melee back. If this player, who's playtesting this, was a little quicker, they would have been able to get more abilities on, and they were transcendent, which I am included that into the ability when they do the transcendent thing. That's an ability, right? Granted, they've got Radiant on, they had Devour, etc., but yeah, that's the Warlock footage, right? So next footage is the Hunter, I believe. So the Hunter, in this clip, the Hunter uses 9 abilities and 9 times they shot their weapon. Well, that's not exactly right. 8 indebted kindness shots and 1 magazine of Quicksilver Storm. That's not a lot of ammo that they used in these clips. There's not a lot of gunplay in this. So that's literally 1-to-1 ratio, almost to the fact that abilities are taken over. The amount of nades that they threw, the amount of melees that they did, etc., etc. So that's not looking good for a gun nut like me. I'm into guns, guns, guns. I like abilities to complement my guns, but I'm guns focused. Yeah. So look at this. This is just abilities, abilities, abilities. You know, and it is fun on the short term, but the long term side effects will pay for it in the end. Like I say, unless they've got some smart, clever ideas for the future, how can they beat this? I don't see where they can go. They've backed themselves up into a corner. So he's Titan. So Titan's a little bit more favourable, but they did use a lot of abilities. In actual fact, they used more abilities than the other two. Apparently Titan's very good on Prismatic, so I've heard. So on this clip, they used 13 abilities total, and they shot 21 times with Fawn. Notice the usage of special and heavy. He didn't use his special or heavy once in this clip because the guy didn't have time to. Okay, I'm not trolling on these players. I imagine these 3 players that tested this, showed you the clips, they're pretty good at the game. They know about it. Obviously, they're devs, right? So I'm not calling them, but I'm just saying, where's the room to use my other guns apart from ability, cycle? Where's the room for anything else other than this? Okay? You see what I'm saying? The danger of this. It is a danger. I am looking forward to Prismatic as just as much as anybody, but I'm just letting you know about the long-term side effects of what this could be. If there's no D3 in the background, man, I'm going to go and search for another first-person shooter. I'm craving a damn first-person shooter with fluid gunplay mechanics like Destiny 2. But I can't get one. There isn't one on the market. And the one that we do have is starting to not be a shooter anymore and starting to be an ability-based game. So I'm like, what? Where am I going to get my gun cravings from? Because it's not the same on a third-person game, although I don't mind them, like Warframe, First Lieutenant looks good, etc. But they're not as good as a first-person. They never are. First-person's always better for gunplay, always, especially if it's a good one. So that's your review of Prismatic and my worries of it. This is showing you the old torrential light modifier. Look at this. This obviously used to stack with Sunfire Furnace, which is the exotic solar chest plate for the Titan, which is an unfair comparison, I know, but like, do we want to get to this stage where we're doing this sort of stuff? Like, look at this. I didn't even fire my gun. I might fire a rocket or two, but isn't that similar to Prismatic I just showed you, right? Maybe use a bit of special weapon here, a bit of heavy here, then ability, then I forgot, I've got a fusion rifle on, I'll use it. Huh? Is that what we want for the long term of the game? I don't think I want that for the long term. But again, if they need to come out and tell us what the long term plan is for Destiny 2 rather than being so sheepish about it, just tell us already what you're actually doing. And I'm not on about the episodes. We know we're getting the episodes. I'm not on about that. I want to know long term what we're doing for this game, what's going on with the franchise. They've been bought out by Sony in the past. It's not for no reason at all. There's obviously a reason. So what's the reason behind it? Where's the TV show for Bungie as well? I thought they were going to make a TV series about it and stuff, live action. Where's that at? Right? What are they doing? We need to know as players. I need to know, because I need to know whether I still want to make content on the game or not. Because, well, like I said, that's not me hinting to you to say I would be quit. I would just move on to something else if that had to happen. But the channel's doing really well now, so I don't want to say downplay the video too much. My channel is doing really, really good. It's just, as I say, we just need to see where we're going with this. And without any clear indication of where we are going, then we can only make conclusions of what we know. Or fragmented information that we have, because that's all it really is. But yeah, that's no sort of review of file shape. That's just my two worries regarding the file shape Legendary campaign and Prismatic as a whole. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.